Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast, shimmering river, its waters sparkling under the sunlight, flowing endlessly with promises of hope, provision, and a life transformed beyond your wildest dreams. This isn't just a fleeting vision, it's a divine reality. And you're here, in this very moment, because something deep within your soul stirred, urging you to pause and listen. You didn't stumble upon this message by chance. No, this is a sacred encounter, orchestrated by a power far greater than coincidence. A power that knows your heart, your struggles, and the dreams you've tucked away in the quiet corners of your spirit. You've felt the weight of financial stress, haven't you? The sleepless nights wondering if you'll ever break free from the cycle of barely getting by. The ache of unfulfilled dreams, the fear that your purpose might remain just out of reach. But let me assure you, this message is for you, a divine invitation to step into a season of abundance that will change everything. Stay with me, because what's unfolding here is a promise so profound, it will leave you in awe of what's possible when you align with God's plan. This isn't just another moment of fleeting inspiration. It's a call to awaken to the destiny God has written for you. You are chosen, handpicked by the Creator, to receive a supernatural outpouring of resources, opportunities, and blessings. The burdens of lack that have weighed you down are about to lift. The doubts that have clouded your vision are about to fade. God is preparing to pour out His provision in ways that will transform your life, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and in every way that matters. This is about more than money. It's about stepping into a life of freedom, joy, and purpose, where you walk with unshakable confidence, radiating the light of God's favor. You weren't created to scrape by, to live small, or to let fear dictate your future. You were designed for greatness, destined for a life where every need is met, every dream is realized, and every purpose is fulfilled. Let's take a deep breath together and lean into this truth. Picture that river again, its waters flowing toward you, unstoppable, abundant, and divinely ordained. This is God's promise to you, sealed by His faithfulness and activated by your trust. The financial pressures that have held you back, the fears that have kept you awake at night, the moments when you wondered if God even saw your struggle there, all part of a story that's about to shift. God is stepping in, taking control, ensuring His provision flows to you like a stream that never runs dry. This isn't a distant hope or a vague wish. It's a covenant from the God who spoke the universe into existence, who holds the stars in His hands, and who has declared that it's His responsibility to provide for you. Your season of struggle is coming to an end, and a season of overflow is beginning. If this promise stirs a spark of hope in your heart, if you feel the weight of your struggles but also the pull of something greater, let's take a moment to connect. Hit the subscribe button to join a community of thousands who are awakening to their divine calling. People just like you who are ready to leave behind the pain of lack and step into God's abundance. And in the comments below, leave a number -1, 2, 3, or 4 to let the heavens know you're claiming this promise. Maybe you've felt alone in your struggles, wondering if anyone understands the weight you carry. Subscribing is a small step, but it's a powerful way to remind yourself you're not alone. You're part of a family believing in your breakthrough. Your comment is a declaration that you're ready to receive. Let's do this together now. Let's dive deeper into what this divine provision means for you. It's not just about paying off bills or covering expenses, though God will absolutely take care of those. It's about unlocking a life of purpose, where you have more than enough to live generously, to bless others, and to build a legacy that echoes through generations. Imagine waking up each day with peace in your heart, knowing that God has gone before you, preparing the way. Picture the freedom of having resources to pursue your dreams, a business that transforms lives, a cause that uplifts communities, or simply the ability to give without fear of running out. This is the life God designed for you, a life where His provision empowers you to step boldly into your calling. God's abundance isn't about hoarding wealth. or chasing temporary pleasures. It's a tool, a divine resource to fulfill the purpose He's placed in your heart. The Bible reminds us in Philippians 4:19, "And my God will supply every need of yours according to His riches in glory in Christ Jesus." This isn't a maybe, a certainty. God's word never fails. When He promises to provide, He delivers. When He says blessings are coming, they're already on their way. Take a moment to let that sink in. Have you ever felt like you were on the verge of something extraordinary, but couldn't quite grasp it? That's the Holy Spirit stirring within you, whispering that your breakthrough is closer than you think. Your struggles have not gone unnoticed. Every tear you've shed, every prayer you've whispered, every moment you've pushed through, despite the odds, God has seen it all. He's been working behind the scenes, aligning every detail to bring you to this moment. Think of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for years. Yet God was with him, turning every trial into a stepping stone toward his destiny. From a pit to a palace, Joseph became a leader who saved nations. Your story is no different. The challenges you faced weren't meant to break you, they were meant to prepare you for the wealth, purpose, and impact now within your reach. If Joseph's journey resonates with you, if you've felt the sting of betrayal or the weight of setbacks, but sense a turning point, let's make this moment count. Subscribe to this channel to stay surrounded by messages that lift your spirit and remind you of God's faithfulness. And leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to declare that you're ready to move from the pit to the palace God has prepared for you. Maybe you felt stuck, wondering if your struggles define you, but subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, "I'm ready for my breakthrough." Let's keep moving forward together. This divine provision isn't something you need to chase or beg for, it's already yours. Sealed by God's promise and activated by your faith. The world might tell you that wealth comes from endless hustle, from stepping over others, or from sheer luck. But God's economy operates differently. His provision flows from trust, obedience, and alignment with His will. When you walk in His purpose, resources follow. Doors open that no one can shut. Opportunities arise that defy logic. Connections form that seem orchestrated by heaven because they are. This is the power of God's provision, moving not by your effort, but by His Spirit working through you. Confidence is key to receiving what God has for you. Not arrogance, but a deep, unshakable knowing that you are a child of the Creator, called by name and declared worthy of His blessings. When you embrace this truth, something shifts. You walk with a different kind of strength, speak with a new kind of authority, dream with a boldness you didn't know you had. People notice. They see the light in your eyes, the peace in your presence, the certainty in your steps. This confidence is magnetic, drawing opportunities, favor, and divine resources into your life. The Bible assures us, in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." God's plan for you is prosperity, hope, and a future overflowing with abundance. Every step you take in faith brings you closer to that plan. If this vision of confidence stirs something deep within you, if you're ready to walk in the boldness God has given you, let's take a step together. Subscribe to this channel too. Join a community that's cheering for your success, reminding you that you're not alone in this journey. And leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to proclaim that you're ready to embrace your divine identity. Maybe you've doubted yourself, felt unworthy, or questioned if you're enough. But subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, "I am chosen, and I'm ready." Let's keep going. Let's talk about the doubters for a moment. There will always be those who question your success, who try to dim your light, who can't understand the favor God is pouring out on you. They may criticize, misunderstand, or even resent your rise. But here's the truth. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, as Isaiah 54:17 declares. When God blesses you, no one can curse you. When He releases divine resources into your life, no opinion can stop the flow. Those who doubt you today will soon stand in awe, marveling at how far you've come. Your success will be a living testimony to God's faithfulness, proof that His promises are real and His provision is unstoppable. Picture a life free from the chains of financial worry. Imagine waking up each morning with peace in your heart, knowing that God has already prepared the way. Envision the joy of having more than enough, not just to meet your needs, but to live generously, to give extravagantly, to make a difference in the lives of others. This is the life God intended for you. It's not about greed or chasing material things. It's about living in the overflow of His grace, where your blessings become a source of hope for those around you. Take inspiration from Esther, an orphan who became a queen, chosen by God to save her people. She didn't seek power or wealth, but God positioned her for impact. Her courage and faith opened doors no one could have predicted. You, too, are in a moment like hers, a time when God is positioning you for influence, for purpose, for abundance. The resources flowing into your life are part of His plan to make you a vessel of His glory, to show the world what happens when someone trusts in His will. If Esther's story ignites a fire in your heart, if you feel the pull of your own for such a time as this moment, let's make it real. Subscribe to this channel to stay connected to messages that fuel your faith and remind you of your purpose. And leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to declare that you're ready to step into the role God has prepared for you. Maybe you felt insignificant, like your moment hasn't come, but subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, I'm ready to shine. Let's move forward together. This is not a time to shrink back. It's a time to rise, to step boldly into the abundance God has promised. The world may try to convince you that wealth is for the lucky few, that dreams are for others, that you're not enough. But God says differently. He says you are chosen, favored, destined for greatness. The divine resources flowing toward you are a testament to His love, His belief in you, His plan for you to thrive. How do you prepare for this provision? First, align your heart with God's purpose. Spend time in prayer, seeking His guidance, asking Him to show you the path He set for you. Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. When you trust God fully, He directs your steps, leading you to the opportunities and resources that fulfill His promises. Second, cultivate a mindset of abundance. The world may plant seeds of doubt or scarcity, but you must reject those lies. Replace them with God's truth. You are blessed, favored, chosen for wealth and purpose. Speak affirmations daily. Declare that divine resources are flowing to you, that doors are opening, that God's provision is more than enough. Your words have power. As Proverbs 18:21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Speak life over your finances, your dreams, your future, and watch God move. Third, act in faith. Faith isn't passive, it's active. It's taking steps even when the path isn't fully clear. Maybe it's starting that business you've dreamed of, investing in your skills, or reaching out to a new connection. Whatever it is, trust that God is guiding you. Every step in faith is a step toward the resources He's promised. As you move, you'll see Him align circumstances, bring the right people, and open doors you never imagined. If these steps feel like a roadmap to your breakthrough, if you're ready to align your heart, shift your mindset, and act in faith, let's commit to them together. Subscribe to this channel to stay surrounded by a community that believes in your journey and lifts you up. And leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to declare that you're ready to take action toward God's promises. Maybe you've hesitated before, afraid to step out. But subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, I'm ready to move. Let's keep pushing forward. Gratitude is another key to unlocking God's provision. Gratitude is a magnet for miracles. When you thank God for what you have, you create space for more blessings. Start each day thanking Him for His provision, for the resources on their way, for the opportunities He's preparing. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." Gratitude shifts your perspective, aligning your heart with God's abundance and opening your life to receive more. Imagine the impact of this provision in your life. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, living with purpose and passion. Envision the joy of giving generously, supporting causes that matter, leaving a legacy that inspires. This isn't a fantasy, it's God's promise. His divine resources are about empowering you to live out your calling, to make a difference, to shine as a beacon of His love. Take inspiration from David, a shepherd boy who became a king. He didn't start with wealth or status, but he had faith in God's calling. When he faced Goliath, he trusted in the Lord, and God gave him victory, positioning him for a life of purpose and provision. You too are facing giants' financial struggles, doubts, fears, but like David, you have God's power on your side. His divine resources are your weapon to defeat every obstacle and step into the abundance He's promised. If David's courage stirs something in you, if you're ready to face your giants with faith, let's stand together. Subscribe to this channel to keep receiving messages that strengthen your resolve and remind you of God's power. And leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to declare that you're ready to fight for your destiny. Maybe you've felt overwhelmed by your challenges, but subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, "I trust God to lead me to victory." Let's keep moving. This is not a time for hesitation. The divine resources are here, ready for you to receive. But you must claim them with faith, boldness, and trust. The world may try to hold you back, but God is calling you forward. Doubts may creep in, but His truth will silence them. Obstacles may seem insurmountable, but His provision will overcome them. You are chosen, favored, destined for greatness. Let's activate this truth together. Subscribe to this channel to join thousands walking this path of divine destiny, a community that's here to remind you that your breakthrough is near. And leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to proclaim that you're ready to receive God's provision. Maybe you felt stuck, unsure if change is possible. But subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, "I'm ready for freedom." Let's keep going. Your wealth isn't just for you, it's for God's kingdom, for building, giving, and transforming lives. Imagine the impact you can have living in God's overflow. You can fund ministries, support dreams, help those in need, and create a legacy that echoes through generations. Your abundance is a tool, a divine resource to make a difference. Take inspiration from Solomon, who asked for wisdom and was blessed with wealth beyond measure. His riches were a testament to God's glory, a means to build a temple and lead a nation. You too are called to use your resources for a higher purpose, whether it's starting a business, supporting a cause, or living a life that inspires others. If Solomon's story sparks a vision of impact in you, if you're ready to use your blessings for God's glory, let's make it a reality. Subscribe to this channel to stay connected to messages that fuel your purpose and remind you of your calling. And leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to declare that you're ready to build a legacy. Maybe you've wondered if your life could make a difference, but subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, "I'm ready to impact the world." Let's keep going. These divine resources come with a responsibility to steward them well, to use them wisely, to live in alignment with God's will. Luke 16:10 says, "Whoever is faithful in a very little is faithful also in much." As you steward what God gives you, He will entrust you with more. Your obedience, faith, and gratitude are the keys to unlocking greater blessings. Expectation is another powerful tool. When you expect God's provision, you position yourself to receive it. Expectation is faith in action, a declaration that you believe His promises. Expect divine resources to flow, doors to open, opportunities to come. Mark 11:24 says, "Whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Believe that the resources are yours, that the abundance is yours, that the future God promised is yours. As you walk in this season, your perspective will shift. Where you once saw lack, you'll see opportunity. Where you felt fear, you'll find peace. Where you doubted, you'll walk in confidence. This is the power of God's transformation. His divine resources are not just changing your circumstances, they're changing your heart, mind, and spirit. You're becoming the person God intended: bold, radiant, overflowing with His abundance. Take inspiration from the widow in 2 Kings 4, who had only a small jar of oil. Through faith and obedience, God multiplied it to pay her debts and provide for her future. You may feel like you have little, but God can take your little and make it much. He can multiply your resources, opportunities, and impact. Trust Him, and your jar of oil will overflow with divine provision. If the widow's story gives you hope, if you're ready to trust God with your little, let's claim that miracle together. Subscribe to this channel to stay surrounded by stories of faith that remind you of God's power to multiply. And leave a number, 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to declare that you're ready for God to turn your little into much. Maybe you've felt like you don't have enough to start, but subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, "I trust God to multiply my resources." Let's keep moving forward. This is a time to press forward, to claim the promises God has spoken over your life. The divine resources are not just a blessing, they're a mandate, a call to step into your purpose with boldness. The world needs your light, your gifts, your abundance. You're not here to play small. You're here to shine, to rise, to make a difference. Community is vital in this season. Surround yourself with those who believe in God's promises, who uplift you, who inspire you to dream bigger. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow." Find your tribe, those who pray with you, dream with you, and celebrate God's provision with you. Together, you'll amplify the power of His blessings. Imagine the legacy you'll leave. The divine resources are not just for today's, they're for generations to come. Your wealth will create opportunities for your children, your community, your world. It will fund dreams, support causes, and spread God's love in ways you can't yet imagine. You're building a legacy of faith, generosity, and impact. Every dollar, every opportunity, every dream is a seed planted for a future harvest. If this vision of legacy and community excites you, if you're ready to build something that lasts, let's do it together. Subscribe to this channel to join a tribe of believers who are creating a lasting impact, and leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to declare that you're ready to leave a legacy for God's kingdom. Maybe you've felt like your life is just about surviving, but subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, "I'm ready to thrive. Let's keep going." This is your moment to shine. The divine resources are a sign that God is moving, that His promises are unfolding, that His plan for you is coming to pass. Don't let doubt, fear, or others' opinions hold you back. Step boldly into this season of abundance. Declare, "I am ready. I am chosen. I am favored. Divine resources are mine. The heavens are listening, and God is ready to pour out blessings that will leave you in awe." Let's pause one more time to activate this truth. Subscribe to this channel to stay connected to a community that's walking this path with you, believing in the promises God has for you, and leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to proclaim that you're ready to receive God's provision. Maybe you've felt like your dreams were too big, but subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, "I trust God to make them real." Let's continue this journey together. The journey to abundance isn't always easy. There will be moments of doubt, times when the enemy whispers lies, moments when the world tries to pull you back. But you are stronger than those moments. You are chosen, equipped with God's Spirit, armed with His promises, destined for greatness. Romans 8:31 says, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" No one can stand against the divine resources God is releasing into your life. Take inspiration from Ruth, who trusted God through uncertainty. She left everything familiar to follow His leading, and God rewarded her faith with abundance, love, and a place in His story. You, too, are called to trust, to step out in faith, to follow God's leading. The divine resources are your reward, your provision, your testimony to His faithfulness. Trust Him, and watch how He moves. This is your season. The divine resources are releasing. Doors are opening. Blessings are flowing. You're not here by accident. You're here by divine appointment, chosen to receive, to rise, to shine. Embrace this moment with faith, boldness, and gratitude. Declare, "I am ready to receive God's divine resources. I am ready to step into my purpose. I am ready to shine." The heavens are aligning, the resources are coming, and your life is about to be transformed in ways you never thought possible. Let's keep this message alive. Subscribe to this channel to stay connected to the truth that God's promises are for you, to join a community that's cheering for your breakthrough, and leave a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments to declare that you're ready for your divine appointment. Maybe you felt like your moment hasn't come, but subscribing and commenting is your way of saying, "My time is now." Let's walk this path together, knowing that God's provision is already flowing, carrying you toward a future of abundance, purpose, and unshakable faith.